Hello there, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this scissor applique. You don't have to do this particular wall hanging, you can do it on anything like an apron, a cushion, anything. So I'm just going to show you how to do it on this wall hanging. This is the applique pattern we're going to be using. It's called the free scissors applique pattern. You can find it on my Facebook group and it's within the file section. So you'll be needing this pattern. You can apply this applique to absolutely anything. So it doesn't have to be the projects that I am making today. You can put it on your crafting apron, you can put it on a cushion, you can put it on absolutely anything. So you don't have to be restricted to this particular project that I'm showing you. All these dimensions here you'll be cutting out, and if you're going to follow along with what I'm doing, you'll also need these. I recommend that you use steamer seam. If you have heat and bond, you can also use that, but if you don't, I recommend that you get some of this. This one has more parts than any of the other appliques I've done so far in my tutorials. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we're going to do them the same colours as what they are in the picture. So first of all we need to get pieces of steamer seam so we can trace over these. You shouldn't need a light box, and if you don't have a light box you can always use your window if you're having trouble seeing. There are two sides to steamer seam, as a gridded side as well as a blank side. I personally like to use the blank side, so I'm just going to go through now and I'm going to trace out all the parts. When it comes to the handle, you want to go a little bit more than this section here, because we want this to go underneath this section of the scissor blade. I'm also going to number this number 1. Once we start to get a load of different pieces, it's always great to start numbering them. Then I'm going to do this one. Again, we're going to go past the blade. This is where the blade is. And this part is going to go underneath. And I'm going to do this too. And I'm going to copy this part. And I need to do this a little bit over because I want this part to go underneath. And I mark that the number, and this is 4. The circular bit is number 3, and what I'll do is, this is the actual size, and then let's go a little bit bigger. So when I cut along, I'll cut along this bigger part, and if it needs to be smaller, then I'll cut in. And this here is going to tuck underneath where the blade is. So again, I want that to go underneath the scissors. And I'm just going to reference the line again. And then mark this as 6. And then do my other blade, which is just going to go on top, so I don't need to do anything bigger than what I need. Don't worry if it's not straight, you can straighten it out when you're cutting it. And then I'm going to mark this as 5. I've got all the sections I need, so I just want to make sure these are nice and pressed and flat. And I have my pattern for reference. I'm going to do all the small sections first, so I'm going to make sure that all of the parts of my steamer seam fit inside of the parts that I have cut out for each individual piece. At this point in time, you don't want to cut on the line. You want to have overage because you want to make sure that that glue is going to be on the fabric. So the next thing we need to do now is take off the back part of the paper. And sometimes this glue wants to be on the other side, but it's on the correct side on this one. So then I'm going to place that onto the fabric there. Then I am going to remove this one, and now the glue is on the wrong side because I want it to be on this side. If that happens to you, that's fine. You're just going to press the glue onto your thumb like this, and then you're going to take it away, and then you're going to peel it onto the side that you want, and then once you've grabbed it, you're going to peel it all off. Simple as. So you're going to go ahead and do that to all of them. Once that is complete, we are going to get the iron again, and we are going to press this glue so it's going to be permanently adhered to the fabric. Now this helps with fraying. It doesn't prevent it totally, but it helps a great deal. I recommend that you let that cool off before we do the next stage. This is where you now cut along the lines. And do that with all your pattern pieces. If you're wondering how to do the inside of the pair of scissors, you're just going to fold it over and just snip. And that creates a hole, so you can take your scissor blade inside and you can cut that away. Here are the parts all cut, and you're still going to need your pattern. So this is where you're going to adhere it to whatever you're working on. You don't have to do this project that I'm doing. I'm just showing you an example. So I'm just going to press this so it's nice and flat. Then I like to find the center of whatever it is that I'm working on. So I'll fold it over and fold it over again, just to create a cross right in the center there. So finger pressing should work. And then just open it up. Then I get my handy dandy friction pen and I just mark my center. So I know exactly where that center is. I'll put my pressing mat back underneath it again. Now I'm going to start placing all of my pieces down. So I'm going to get the blade first because I know that is pretty much in the center of my design. And it doesn't really matter what you place first because you can peel things up and put them back down again. So this steamer seam is nice and sticky, so you can peel it back up and you can stick it back down. So what I might do is use my other blade and then put the other blade underneath. Now this design has not been reversed. So I'm probably going to have to play around with that, but I'm not bothered. I'm just going to place things down right now. Number 5 blade is here. Number 6 blade is here. So number 2 handle is going to be down here. This is number 4. And it's kind of going to go over the top here. If you are struggling with positioning, you can always retrace using your window or light box on the back, the reverse of the pattern, and that's the way the pattern is going to be. And then you can peel it off. And put it onto your actual fabric. Once you are happy with your placements, you can then press, and that will permanently stick the applique to the fabric. So make sure that you've got everything where you want it to be before you press. Now I'm going to move over to the sewing part because I want to attach it down now. And I use a Baby Lock L-Tie 2. It's a sewing and embroidery machine. I'm just going to click onto sewing. I have some embroidery thread at the top here, an embroidery thread in the bobbin, and a 9014 needle. I'm going to do like a blanket stitch here, or an overcasting stitch. I'm going to do an overcasting stitch, and I want to make sure that the line is on the edge of my pair of scissors. And I've just taken the width down and the length down. I also did a little bit of a sample stitch. I recommend that you do that before you start. I've turned my speed dial down to slow, and I'm just going to start stitching down my blade. You can do whatever stitches you want. I'm sampling a few different ones. I'm doing a load of different appliques, so you might want to scribe, because there are a load more 3 patterns to come. I'm going to go ahead and do a zigzag stitch on the handles. I would just recommend going through all your different stitches and just trying them all out. If you have a pivot key on your machine, I highly recommend you use it, because it automatically raises that foot up and down without you even having to go behind the machine. Have fun with your stitches, try loads of different ones. There's lots of different ways of doing applique, and this is just the one. Please have fun with it and practice. Now let's put this onto a canvas. I've got my Elmer's glue, so I'm going to stick this onto the canvas. So this is the quilt batten, so it doesn't move on me. And I like this because it just puffs it out a little bit. To decide which way I want my scissors facing on the frame. And then once I do, I'm going to flip it over and make sure that I have enough fabric on the back, and I should have. I have a full tutorial on how to attach fabric to a canvas, and I will link that video. I highly recommend that you learn how to do this correctly so it looks a lot more professional, especially if you want to sell the canvases or gift them to somebody. I hope you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, because I have a load more appliques coming and they're totally free. Don't forget to join my Facebook group and you will see them in the files section. Goodbye now.